In this lecture, I'm going to go through and discuss data center physical security. So there's things like logical security and there's physical security. Logical security is server authentication, authorization, access control lists on a firewall, biometrics, tokens and certificates, and various other like you would call logical aspects of a security model. This is physical security for a data center. So for data center access, you have multi-levels here, and it's part of a standard cybersecurity model. You've got an outside building here, so you have people to go through, and those are typically through some sort of access card you have to swipe to get into the building. Then you're on the inside here, and on the inside then you typically would have a data center that has a locked door on as well, and access is provided typically through, in some cases, biometrics such as fingerprints or some keypad, for example, or some card you swipe. It's got a pin on it, and that controls access to the data center. And the data center, once you're inside, then you've got a variety of different racks, rack cages. And sometimes you've got co-located customers, so you've got multiple customers. So each customer would have access to their own rack, and at that point you would access your rack through the same kind of security procedures. Whether it wouldn't be a password, it would be some sort of scan of your fingerprint, for example, or some kind of card that you use. And so that would get you into the rack cage. At that point you've got a rack with a lock on it as well sometimes, and that's optional, and you would access the rack through either just a key that you've got. Typically that's all what it is, unless there's some other method they've got so it's secure. And then you access the console port through a roller cable right to the device itself. And when you get onto the console, there would typically be a password on there that you would access, and authentication could be through a TACAC server or could be local authentication. So there's kind of multi-levels of security here, and it's based on security requirements of the company and the kind of data that they're accessing and things like that. So that kind of gives you an overview of that physical security. And that concludes the lecture.